So my boss is yelling at me on the phone.
Don't you understand English, you useless piece of shit?
It's that kind of trouble that you get in where you're like guilty and you're kind of scared. And while he's yelling at me, I look to my left and Kawhi Leonard is just sitting there minding his own business, taking his shoes off after a huge game. I think it was so surreal because here I was being yelled at like a little kid with my favorite player sitting right next to me in the locker room. At that moment, I realized something about Kawhi that would help me. Yo, it's AM Hoops. I am Casey Kiernan. 2 quick member shoutouts, Pedro Yuki Shibuya and Gleb Mashenko. Now it's crazy, but I didn't really put all this together until people asked me who my favorite player is. And the answer has been Kawhi Leonard like for years, but I didn't really know why. So I wanted to figure out what is so special about Kawhi that puts him over like LeBron or Giannis or Kevin Durant, or even legends like Kobe or MJ for me. But to explain it, I have to tell you why I was even in the Spurs locker room. I got my first job on TV in a really small town, hoping to work my way up to like ESPN. Why did I want to be on ESPN? To be honest, I like sports, yeah, but also I just wanted to be on TV. I know it sounds really egotistical, but guess what? I have an ego. I can admit it because everyone else does too. This made me go,
Things that make you go,
A study asked kids and adults about their dream job. Baby boomers, born in the 1950s and 60s, said arts and entertainment, like TV. Gen Xers, born in the 70s, also said arts and entertainment. Millennials like me, same thing, and this current generation, same thing. So it turns out everyone wants to be on TV or movies or whatever. So I was lucky enough to get that first job, but it was in a small town covering high school sports, waking up at 4 a.m. to also work at Starbucks to pay the rent. After 3 years though of covering high school, I finally got a job in San Antonio. Not just covering an NBA team, but the world champion Spurs. I got there 3 months after Kawhi won his first finals MVP. The dream! But turned out it was the lowest rank at my job and I never got any of the good assignments, and the Spurs hate the media. Even when I did get to cover a game, it was painful. Greg Popovich would give me answers, like 2-word answers.
What are your thoughts on the way your team finished the game?
They're good thoughts.
And the finals MVP wasn't exactly media savvy either.
It's good, long, but very good, productive summer.
He was, though, amazing to watch. No one could guard Kawhi. Dude got a bucket anytime he wanted. At the same time, he could guard everyone, and he would just win games by himself. Kawhi's got an old school game, pretty unique in this 3-point heavy era. He loved like that throwback mid-range that Kobe and Michael Jordan had. I also loved his story. He was not a big-time recruit out of high school. He didn't go to Duke or UNC, but San Diego State. The Spurs got him on draft night from outside the lottery because his offense was just okay. The Spurs, though, worked with him to a point where he had a lethal shot and he led them in scoring at 24 years old with 3 Hall of Fame teammates. The weird thing was his attitude. Dude did not beat his chest after a big bucket. He didn't even have social media. And that helped because he was pretty much ignored. Most fans didn't even know who Kawhi was when he locked down LeBron in the finals and won MVP. For example, this is a clip of me talking with Kawhi about some random social media contest at the time. The point is, he is humble enough to just have a conversation with some random reporter he doesn't even know.
Kawhi, do you think the Matt Bonner Cup should count
And what?
in this social media contest?
I mean, it's not up to me. It's not a contest. But yeah, if the fans want a cup for Matt Bonner, then yeah, sure.
That was a typical interaction with Kawhi. He was a superstar, but didn't act like a superstar. That kind of humility is just not what I had at the time. Instead of being happy and grateful for where I was, I wanted that big national TV job right now. And there's where the trouble comes in. Like I said, I didn't really get to cover any of the big games. Well, one night the Spurs were playing the Thunder in the playoffs, and I basically snuck in to cover the game. None of my bosses knew. And it was such a good ending. The Spurs were down late, Kawhi got a bucket, Tony Parker an assist, LaMarcus Aldridge got fouled, hits free throws, and they're down 1 with seconds left. Dion Waiters obviously fouls Manu Ginobili inbounding the ball. Spurs should have been able to draw up a play and win the game, but they were robbed. So naturally, everyone wanted to talk to Manu after the game. All my bosses were watching national TV and saw this.
We got the steal, we got a shot, we got an offensive rebound, so.
Of all the places I could stand, why? While Manu was talking, my phone rings and it's my boss. My heart sank and I just left and went into the hallway and answered the phone. That is when he ripped me for going behind their back. I didn't know if I was gonna get fired, but what I realized in that moment was I was just way overly ambitious. I wanted the big prize right now and I didn't want to wait for it. And it got to the point that I was sneaking around and risking my job. That is when I looked over and saw Kawhi, just as chill as he always was. A dude who no one knew years before, but he just put his head down, put in work, and waited till he got his turn and was rewarded. Kawhi wasn't worried about what everyone else thought. He didn't care about attention. And right then, I got so much respect for Kawhi, I wanted success like him. I mean, I always knew that being humble was the right thing to do, but I didn't really know what that looked like until it was 3 feet in front of me and I was being chewed out. So I hung up the phone, drove home, and apologized the next day. I kept my job. It was a really crappy situation, but actually I'm glad it happened. Because when I did get that national job, CBS let me go after 2 years.
What?
But the transition to YouTube was possible because I wasn't obsessed with being the man on TV. It's just not what I really want for my life anymore. But if I wasn't in San Antonio to see the Spurs, Coach Pop and Kawhi, I never would have gotten to that place mentally. Right now though, I am happier than I ever was on regular TV because I get to make videos full time about the sport I love and actually have a relationship with you guys who watch these videos, and you get none of that on TV. A lot did happen with Kawhi and the Spurs after I left San Antonio, but for those 2 special seasons, I learned a lot.